Hello, so in this video we're driving to Asda to pick up some food during the lockdown. Now I haven't been out of the house for 3 weeks at this point, and I thought it would be interesting to go for a drive and pick up some food and see how quiet the roads are, because you're not supposed to be out on the road at the moment unless you've got a very good reason. And you can see the Co-op coming up on the left there, and that store's actually quite empty. The car park's empty and the doors are open. They are open, but there are no queues at all in that store. So anyway, we're going to carry on. We're going to go for a drive for about 3 miles. I'm going to see how busy the roads are. Now at the moment you can see the roads are actually looking fairly normal. Now at this point I haven't driven my car for 3 weeks, and I'm thinking, well, what's going on? And the background noise from the car will come in a moment, because I had music on up until about this point, and then I'll turn the music off and you'll now hear some background noise of the car driving along. Now when I went out, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I mean, in some ways I was expecting it to be a bit like driving in Grand Theft Auto with the 5-star wanted level. I was expecting there to be police on every road, roadblocks, signs saying road closed. I was expecting to see some army soldiers with machine guns, firing at cars and shouting at people from helicopters to go back home. And as you can see, it's a little bit different to what I was expecting. So yeah, we're going to carry on up this road, and this road's pretty dead at the best of times, but in a moment we're going to come out by Northfield town centre. So as we carry on up this hill, there is actually a sign here. It's quite a bad sign. The sign's been put up, and I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see it better, but it's a sign that's been designed by some school children. Now, you may know I'm also a hypnotherapist as well as a driving instructor, and the way that they've written the sign is terrible in terms of language and the message it gives your mind. It's completely wrong. I'll go over that in a different video, but anyway, let's get back to the lockdown. So we're going to turn right to these lights and we're entering the 20 zone. Now the video will jump ahead in a moment here because I thought there was a problem with the camera and there wasn't. What it was, I'd updated the camera and the red light on the back of the camera that flashes to tell you it's recording wasn't flashing, and I thought the camera wasn't recording, so it jumps forward a bit, but it was recording, it's just that the light wasn't on. So here we are in Northfield town centre, and if I'd known the cameras was recording, the point is I would have done this voiceover during the drive. I would have done this as I was driving, because there were lots of things I wanted to say, like looking at this man walking from the left with his mask on. So there's a lot of people wearing masks. You can't see them, but there are some people on the right in the shopping centre, and other people, as you can see, don't take any precautions at all. So here we are now heading towards Asda. This has jumped forward about 10 minutes because again the camera wasn't working, and I unplugged it and put it back on to get it working again, not knowing it was working because the light wasn't flashing. And there's quite a funny bit here in a moment where I act like a bit of a queue jumper. The roads are pretty dead, as you can see, lots of parked cars but not many cars on the road. I'm going to turn left and go into Asda, and the one thing I wasn't sure about on this journey was where to actually go to pick up my food. Now it does stand on the floor. Thankfully I've been in this store just about 3 weeks earlier. It was one of the last trips that I did before the lockdown was announced. In fact, it was the last trip that I did, and I played back the video and I could see on the floor that it said turn left for collection point, and it's not on Google Street View. This is quite recent. They've started allowing you to pick up food from this store like this. So some shopping trolleys there strewn about, and I turn left and just look at the queue in the car park. Ignore the signs for now, we'll come back to that soon. Keep looking at the car park there, look at the people queuing down the car park, going round and round and round and round, a massive queue. And this is now the part where I act like a queue jumper, and I wasn't jumping the queue, I was looking for the collection point, and the sign on the floor did say collection point this way. So here I am driving past everyone and act. These people must think I'm a complete idiot, because what I do is I pull up right in front of the store as I'm just jumping the queue. So here I go, round the corner, everybody get out of the way because I'm more important, and I'm going to park my car right here and just walk straight in Look at these people looking at me, probably thinking, what's this idiot doing? That's not what I was doing. It says pick-up point, and I thought, is this the pick-up point for shopping? And the man now asks me what I'm doing, and you'll hear what he says in a moment. Yeah, got a collection. Got a collection.
Collection's downstairs, mate.
Oh, right.
Do you know how you came in?
Yeah.
Instead of going out, down onto the underground.
Oh, right, thanks. Yeah. So yeah, what it is, the signs are actually wrong. It says collection point, turn left, but it's not, it's actually ahead. I don't know if they painted it wrong, but the collection point, I don't think it's ever there. It's always in the underground part, which is where I thought it would be, because in most stores it's the underground part. But anyway, yeah, loads of people walking around here, so I'm going back to the roundabout and I'm going to turn left. It looks like it's really, really busy, but that's because half the car park is closed off, because it's where people are queuing. So I'm going to go roundabout left and we go to this underground point. And if you look on the left here, massive queues again. There's a sign on this railing which says collection point to go the way I'm now going to go. See on the sign there, you can just about see click and collect this way. So yeah, the signs are very misleading there. But yeah, so I'm going underneath this store. Some people walking in the road here, so I'm going to go around those. I'm going to go and do some bay parking, and this is where your bay parking comes in. This is real world bay parking, which is much different to what we do on the driving test. This is what I always say to my pupils: the methods you learn on the test do work, but you must be ready to adapt and improvise them. So I'm looking for the collection point now, and I'm going to pull up just quite close to the door. Now I normally get really annoyed with people who park right next to the door. I think if you're fit and healthy and well, you should park anywhere and leave the spaces close to the door for people who maybe can't walk as well. So I normally deliberately park quite far down the other end of the car park and walk down. But on this occasion I kind of wiggle into this space because it says on these concrete and metal posts, I don't know if you can see, but there are signs saying click and collect. So I look around and I decide that actually I don't want to park here because there are some other spaces which have signs on saying click and collect. So I check around, and in a moment I'm going to reverse out of this space and then go and park in another one. So this is a very tight car park, as many are, and when I park in this other space there's a red car next to me which is really parked on the edge of the bay, parked too far over on the edge of the bay. If you look ahead of me, you can see the white car there is parked very close to the white line. So that's the kind of thing you'll pass your driving test for, but it makes it really awkward for the people to get out of their car, and even awkward for you to get out. So that's what I mean about real world bay parking. It's all very well doing it on the test in an empty car park and just, getting through your test, but you've got to be able to do it for real. So now I'm backing out the space and I'm going to go and park in this other area. The one problem I had here is I didn't know how much charge I had in my battery in the car, because I haven't driven the car for 3 weeks and I don't know how long the battery will last. So there's a taxi driver there with a face mask on. It's a very tight bit of wiggling here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. The best tip I can give you is it should look as though you're going to hit the post. If it looks like you're going to hit it, you're normally okay. If it looks like you're not going to hit it, it means you've probably got a lot of spare room. But of course you've got to judge that well. And there's the woman, once that massive thanks to her. She was doing a great job, that woman who just walked past. She was collecting people's names. And she was just saying to people, wait in your car, we'll come and collect your name. So yeah, that's what it's like to drive during the lockdown. And you shouldn't really be on the roads at the moment. Please don't go out driving just for the sake of it. You should only drive if you've got a very good reason, like for this instance I was picking up a prepaid collection of food. And the point I was making just about the battery was, when you leave a car standing, the battery will only last for so long before it goes dead. Now I did look on some very reputable websites and they say you should be able to leave a car standing for at least 2 weeks before the battery goes dead. And considering that my car's only just 2 years old and the battery's all been checked and it's been serviced and all that recently, I thought mine would be fine, and it was. But I didn't know whether or not to turn the engine off here, because normally I would turn the engine off when I'm still, but I didn't want to turn it off and then be stuck in this car park. And one thing about this car park is because it's underground, you can't get a signal on your phone. Normally not a problem, you normally walk out to the entrance, but there are signs up saying stay in your car, don't get out because of the social distancing measures. So a very strange time to be driving in. Check out the other videos on the screen now, and if you want to sign up for my exclusive free newsletter, you'll be emailed news from me every week or two, and there's a free 15-minute video for you when you sign up about me talking through a massive crash I had many years ago. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon for more videos.